Hello, I'm Jerry Stewart with another episode of Common Sense. About 3 weeks ago, I wrote an open letter to Colin Kaepernick, who, of course, is the one that has started all of this matter of the not standing and respecting the flag during the national anthem. In my letter, I explained to him why those of us who are so upset by what he's doing, why we're so upset. I'm not going to go through that all now, but if you did not see that particular episode of my Common Sense, it's here on the site, and I'd love to have you take a listen, take a look, and tell me what you think. Well, I have not heard back from him. Wasn't surprised. You can only just imagine how many people are trying to get his attention. And really, my purpose was not to get any attention for myself, but to let him hear from a commonsensical person, based on the history of our nation, why what he was doing was upsetting us so very much. Now, as you know, the football season has started, and some of this nonsense is continuing. Now, I can tell you, we have to be really, really careful what we take as truth and what we take as fiction and false. To give you an example, right now there is a column that's circulating by the millions that says that the Kansas City Chief, owner, and CEO had issued a statement to his players. Says something to the effect, hey, I'm the owner, I own the field, I own your contract, you're just a player in this stage, and therefore you'd better stand up for the flag, and if you don't, I will fire you. And I saw that and went, wow, hooray. Well, before I acted upon that, my partner, Kelly, who's also my wife, did some research. Found out not true. Didn't say it. It's interesting how sometimes something that we want so badly to be the truth, we accept it so easily. The truth is this. Yes, there is pushback. Yes, you and I are pushing back. Yes, there are letters that are going out. But the pushback, quite frankly, is of a fairly small degree. It's not that we don't want to push back harder, but here's the truth. We have this thing called the silent majority. That's the largest share of most of us across the country who know what we believe it very firmly, rarely are we going to be moved, but we're fairly silent about how we feel. Now, when we get to work or we get to a church or to a social function, we let it fly. But as far as actually doing something, we tend to do nothing. And so long that it's been in our nation, in the last probably maybe 50, 60, 70 years, the unsilent, the vocal, very minority is basically calling the shots. And those of us who really are in the majority are not causing much effect, if any, at all. Now, I've had a number of people that have come to me and said, wow, what can we do? I'm so frustrated. I'm so angry. What can I do? Well, I thought that was a good question. So I spent some time thinking. For those of you who may not know, I spent 9 years in Hollywood, and while I was in Hollywood, I acted as a business manager. So I saw so much that went on in Hollywood, especially as related to television. And what I learned very quickly is that the networks are very, very interested in what the viewers, potential viewers, think. And I could give you an instance, I won't take the time here, where only a very small number of people, like less than 100, letters caused the whole flavor of a weekly series to change. There was something in that series that the viewers didn't like. They voiced it. We'd say, why would 100 people make any difference? Here's the reason why. For those who are keeping statistics, they say, well, for every one person who voices their opinion on a matter, there are X amount of thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of people who feel exactly the same way. So they'll take, say, 100 letters and extrapolate that out to be perhaps millions of people. And then they say, well, wow, if we're going to lose millions of listeners and followers and viewers, then maybe we'd better think twice about what we're doing. No matter how you look at it, the NFL is a game, but let me tell you something, it's a lot more than a game. It's big, big, big money. That's the reason that Colin Kaepernick could get paid $12 million a year. That's kind of fairly small as compared to a lot of the big-name quarterbacks. They can get paid millions and tens of millions of dollars to play this game, because there are people showing up at the stadium, paying for their tickets, paying for their drinks, paying for their food. There is parking concessions. There is television. And the NFL gets money from the networks. Then the networks get their money from the advertisers. And let me tell you something. If an advertiser is sponsoring something and the people are mad and upset about it, and they know it, and the people say, you know what, I'm not going to buy your product. The advertisers, their attention, they quickly give it their attention. It's all about money. Now, supposedly, the viewers are dropping to NFL football. And the way I'm understanding it, it's not really whether you agree or disagree. It's just that people don't want an NFL football game to be a place where there's arguments and politicizing. They just want to sit down and watch a football game. That's all they want to do. And people, it's not turning out that way. So here's what we're doing at our group, Saving the Nation. We are getting together the names of the owners with their email addresses. We're getting together the names of the networks with their email address, the ones that are airing all the games. And more important than anything, we're getting together the sponsors, their names, their email addresses, who are sponsoring these NFL football games. And we're going to provide these to you if you can give me a reason why I should go to all the work. Meaning, if I get 2 responses, if I have maybe one person go, sure, I'll do it, but I don't get enough attention to make it worth our while, then honestly, I've got better things to do. But let me tell you something that I know for a fact. Out of experience, I can tell you that you may seem like you're only one small spit in the ocean, but I can promise you it doesn't take that many spits to get the attention. One of our founding fathers said the biggest mistake that we can make is because we can only do a little, we do nothing. Most of us feel that way. Big deal. What difference am I going to make? But if we can get a few of us, and more than a few, if we could get hundreds of us, we can make a difference. Do you care enough to not just talk, but to act? I do. The people around me do. I want you now to respond back to me. I want you to give me a reply. Give me a no if you think that's a bad idea. I want to know what you think. Please subscribe to this channel. That gives me a broader effect, if you will, within the the market there, and it also gives us an opportunity to be encouraged to do this work and get it done. I'm going to be watching. This is also going to go over on Facebook and any place else that we can get the attention of our subscribers. I want to let you take a moment and just give me a like. Yeah, I'll go for it. Or a dislike. Nah, I don't think it's going to be worth it. I'm not going to do it. Please let me know. I'm Jerry Stewart. This is common sense. We must, folks, we must stand up. We must quit being the silent majority. We must speak out if we think we have anything important to be done. And believe me, folks, we do. I'm Jerry Stewart. God bless you. I'll be waiting for your responses. Goodbye.